was a lot of the, I don't want to. It was always having to defend where you're from. And that was something that I learned really early on, 11 years old, having to defend coming from the Bronx into middle America. And not to be offended by it. And we handled it so gracefully. My family and I, they didn't even know what Puerto Ricans were. They all thought we were black and German. Because there was a lot of, it was a military town, so there was a lot of German and black couples and families. And they looked Puerto Rican. You would have the African and the white mixture, and it would essentially look like me. And in my specific family, we have black, white, and Indian. We have the European, we have the African, we have the Taino Indians. So, but growing up in Oklahoma in a military town, in Lawton, Fort Sill, and my dad was in the military, but he was a retired fireman. But my aunt was in the military, my cousin's husband, friends, my mom's ex-husband. Because you know what, actually, some people would have the nerve to say about what I wrote, that I was a communist. And I didn't even know what communism was. And then some people said that I was even unpatriotic because of, I've been spied on. And I've been traced. And I have been, in doing research, I made a phone call that changed my life. And once I made that phone call, people thought that I was trying to put that strike together in real life. And it got me in deep trouble.
Trouble?
They thought that I was trying to be a Che, a revolutionist.
Oh.
They thought that I was trying to, and this was in 2010. So,
in a military town?
No. That happened here.
Oh.
No. I came to New York when I was 18 to follow my dreams as an actor. And I sort of, I just kept denying that to myself. I got discovered 4 times as a waiter. A woman was like, I like your voice, I like your... And she was like, let me represent you. I'm a manager for actors. And I never called her once. I had a friend, I used to be a male prostitute. I prostituted from the age of 18 to 20.
What do you mean, male prostitute?
I was a teenage prostitute.
Doing what?
Having sex for money.
You mean with women or with men?
With men.
Okay.
From age 18 to 28.
You mean gay?
I'm gay.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's how I lost my virginity too. It was in Times Square, 42nd Street.
How?
Somebody paid me to have sex with him. And I actually read a book about this man who started Covenant House.
What?
This priest.
Oh, priest.
Who started the Covenant House. And the story talks about how all these teenagers who came to New York to follow their dreams will end up in Times Square. So this man was taking them in. He eventually started the Covenant House, which is a beautiful thing and it's still there.
What's Covenant House?
Covenant House is for homeless.
Covenant,
I think there's an age limit until 28.
Okay.
But what happened was, that guy ended up abusing a lot of the kids. This priest in the story. I think it was a true story. But so I read that book and I said, oh shit. Because when you're in the closet, you don't want people to know. So my cousins were gay. I had lesbian cousins. So I didn't want to hang out in the village because I thought I might run into them. So that's the only place that I knew would be gay. So reading this book, I said, wait a minute, there's gay in Times Square? So I went down there. I was working at F.E.O. Schwartz, the toy store, on Fifth Avenue. I was working there with my girlfriend who gave me the book. But another girl who was a stand-up comic, I went down there with her because she knew that I was gay. She was the first person to say, "Are you gay?" I was like, "Yeah." So I went down there with her, and there was this man, 42nd and 8th, and he said that he was prostituting. He was very straight acting, he said he was straight. And I just didn't understand. I'm like, "You're straight? And you were having sex with men for money?" It's like, "I gotta survive." And so, brings you back to that stick and the honey. So, I went by myself about a month later. Not for money, because I didn't need money. I had a good job. I was living with my grandmother, but just for for my sexuality and trying to explore, like, who am I? What am I sexually? Is it do I like guys? And I've been messing with guys since I was 5 years old. So that's how I lost my virginity, and that's the gay world that I came into, was in Times Square and Hell's Kitchen. That area was the gay men who don't like gay men. There was the gay men who like straight men, and they would never go to the village. They would only look for the gay for pay guys, which was like New York was split into those two different gay cultures. So then it would be like living there, where you would have to be secretive about being gay. Very weird. You would have to be like that fantasy. So John, potential client, would come up to you and say, "Are you gay or straight?" So you would have to, "I'm bisexual." Sometimes you would say, "I'm straight," or you never let them know that you like guys. It will make them feel uncomfortable if you lust. Because then if you're in the dinner with them, in their eyes, you could see another man, a young hot guy, and if you looked at them in an attractive way, they might feel whereas if there was a woman, they wouldn't feel as threatened. So even if it was true, because a lot of these men knew that a lot of these guys, a lot of the prostitutes, did like guys, but they like to have the fantasy of, I know they're not looking at the cute busboy, I know they're not looking at the hot waiter, they just like to. So I would do that, and even within the prostitutes, it would be little by little that I could let them know that I was gay. It was almost like letting guys know on your football team when you're in the locker room that you're gay. You don't want them to think that that's how they look at you. Oh, that's how you look at them. And they would find me very, they're like, "Oh, you like guys?" Because they're like, "Well, we're straight, we're gay for pay." And I'd be like, "Well, I like guys."
What do you mean they say they're straight but gay for pay?
They would be the more the type of guys that and I really do believe that there's some like that. There's some guys that are just more straight and like more bisexual, and it would be or maybe they were uncomfortable, who knows, for whatever reason, that they were labeling themselves that way and still having to do that.
Is it for money?
It'd be for money, yeah.
So actually, money is really corrupting.
Yeah.
Do you believe that woman would love only for money?
Would women?
Yeah.
Say what?
Woman
What?
loves only for money. Do you believe that?
No. I would never. I don't like to make generalizations about men or women.
You mean woman may love somebody
For
penniless? Penniless?
Of course.
How is that possible? Explain. because George Orwell thinks that it's impossible, because he was all poor in his life, so he knows it firsthand. How do you know that? You never been poor like this.
Of course I've been poor. I'm poor.
But he's been living in the street, man. That's a great, yeah, that's a great rider.
I think maybe then he wasn't lucky enough to meet the right woman.
He knows people better than me, at least I know.
I don't think he was lucky to meet the right woman. Oh my gosh. It's like, honestly, when I was a kid, I thought I was a girl. I'm very comfortable with my feminine side. I'm very aware that we're all, and that's the thing, like, we're all XY.
What do you mean when you were a kid? Like,
when I was younger,
Excuse me, sir.
Do you have a lighter?
Thank you so much. I don't.
I have a something.
I don't know. I'll only save it for later. It's okay. I just discuss it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but oh, I see that. So we all are half our mothers, half our fathers. Genetically, everybody is half their mother, half their father. I'm not the first one to say that. That's so weird. You know, we're all XY, right? It's like we're all half our mom. We were once. It's like this. You were once. It's like the tree. You have the tree. Take that tree. Acorn falls. Another tree comes. But before that tree, it was that tree. That's like, before I was who I am, I was once just my mother. And I was once just my father. Literally, genetically, everything. Like, I was once her, and I was once him. And so they came together and made me. And so you could think of your DNA, your mind. You were your great-grandparents, your grandparents, your great-great, you know, that's how our mind essentially is this web that connects us all.
I think we need some technology to really read and understand the genetics.
I've actually been watching this on National Geographic. I mean, people call it your roots.
Roots.
Your roots.
Okay.
You know, but do you actually sit there and start to think, I was once my mother, like, for a long time. I was my grandparents. And you start to think, wow, this is my mind. It's like you're in more than one place at one time. You know. And when I was 5 years old, I thought I was so aware of this girl within me, and I was looking at women's clothing, my mom's shoes, her nightgowns, the lace, silk. I was very attracted to it, and I was like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna be.
Maybe you like your mom so much, that's why.
Well, no, that too, of course. I love my mom, of course. I love my dad too, but I didn't feel the same thing.
Maybe she was with you all the time, that's why.
But I was feminine.
Alright.
Very feminine. It was, I was getting called a faggot non-stop.
Alright.
By the age around 7. I didn't know how feminine I was. I didn't know what it was. Couldn't control it. But it didn't stop the kids from calling me a faggot.